Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 161. Did you do the throw up the peace signs thing when we started?
I did this when I was like, hey, everybody, because it's a thing that Caitlin and I do. We're like, hey, fam.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever. That's my impression, and I know it's false, so influencers, please don't scream at me. I'm not Harry Styles talking about the opera. And
that's not even the right person.
Oh, it's not Harry Styles.
No, it's Timothée Chalamet.
It's Timothée Chalamet.
You just dragged one of the nicest, wokest British singers out there. And you confused him with that horrible, terrible man, Timothée Chalamet.
Two things. It's because it's 10 a.m. and because yesterday I watched SNL and Harry Styles made a cameo.
He did make a cameo.
Hilarious.
He's hosting next week.
It's really Harry Styles' fault for being hilarious and good.
Anyway,
Anyway,
he's doing a residency at Madison Square Garden later this year. So he's going to be living in New York for like 6 months. Yeah.
Oh, if only I did. So I want to say, I just want to finish this, right? So
Sure.
we're always doing like, because this is my impression of how influencers start every video. Hey, fam. It's because that's how it is on TV. Like if there's a TV show about an influencer, like, you know, some murder show about, because that's all I watch are shows where people die in the beginning.
I want you to listen carefully to what you just said. It is the impersonation or impression of an influencer from a CBS white person show written by some 65-year-old. It's not real life. But neither is influencing. So what do I know?
But I mean, I haven't seen it in a while because I don't watch CBS anymore. Which I guess I have to. It begs the question.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask. Only you can answer this question. Do I now have to give up HBO?
You do. I never gave up Paramount Plus, so I'm not giving up.
But
HBO.
here's my rationale. Like, let's just to me, HBO is now collateral damage in this fight. That CBS News is the problem. So if I stop watching Paramount, which is the direct tie to CBS, then I feel like fine.
Well, Paramount will be the overall umbrella that owns all of it. And that's the company that is owned by Trump's BFF. Although everybody calls everybody Trump's BFF, how many BFFs does this guy have? He must be very popular.
More than anybody ever in the history.
His buddy is the one who runs Paramount, which is going to oversee everything. But I am willing to bet you that if and when this merger goes through, that CNN is lumped in with CBS News. So there goes CNN.
Yeah, I do believe. Well, I mean, the guy who runs it, right? Edelson, is that his name? He said CNN will remain, will be able to make its own decisions, just like CBS News.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I thought, I said, oh, well, there goes CNN then, because CBS News doesn't get to make their own decisions.
And you know what's even more infuriating? The other thing that falls under it's joint, but the other thing that kind of falls under Discovery, Warner Discovery's news division is HBO documentaries. So now we're going to get a shit ton of documentaries about what a great idea it was for Trump to go to war with Iran.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they'll block ones that show, like, you know, evil things that Russia does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like try to bomb American troops through Iran, but those don't matter. Anyway, so there's that. Now let's address this Timothée Chalamet thing.
Yes.
I hope, right, that this drops him out of like Oscar contention.
In Gold Derby, Michael B. Jordan is now favored to win Best Actor.
Yeah. I will tell you this, like you said this about Timothée Chalamet a few award shows back, that there was some sort of just arrogance about his speech, and I feel like, and I don't know what, like, where it happened, but it's just I feel like it's taken over.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this. Other people are saying this. So don't come at me, Timothy. But a lot of people are saying he has developed this cocky arrogance ever since entering the Kardashian Jenner sphere. And that he was a humble, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed actor and then started dating a Kardashian and has turned into this total baby Adrian Brody douchebag that nobody can stand.
I can see that. I can see that the timeline is matching with my impression.
Because it started last year when he was on the award circuit for where he played that Bob Dylan in that movie.
Yeah.
And the catalyst was when he won the SAG Award last year, and his speech was more like, I look at this like an athlete, and I want to be the greatest actor, and this is just evidence winning this that I am on the right track to become the greatest actor in the world. And he approached it like a athlete. And a lot of, and I mean, we all were in high school. The drama geeks don't care for the athletes, and the athletes don't really care for the drama geeks. So when you try to merge those two worlds, people get their feathers
when
all
you
ruffled.
when you merge those two worlds, you get ping pong.
You get ping. There you go. You get ping pong. Have you watched that movie yet, Marty Supreme?
No, have you?
Yeah, it's awful. I don't.
Oh,
okay.
see, I was.
But it's not just.
Let me ask this real quick.
Yeah.
Is because my impression of any scene or preview or anything I've seen from Marty Supreme, it matches sort of this air of arrogance.
Yes, that's the character. Yeah, and I feel like
he's an arrogant guy.
He feels like he's a method actor, so he's Daniel Day-Lewising where he's like, I can't get rid of the character, so it comes across in all of his interviews. But I don't think I know he was arrogant, growing up because he was, the voice of a generation, so that adds a little bit of arrogance to you. So maybe that's where it started, a little bit of the Bob Dylan and then this character. Did you ever watch Uncut Gems?
No.
Oh, okay. That is
sounds like a video I may have watched.
That's an yeah.
But I think it's something different
it's
than
an
what you think.
Adam Sandler movie that is directed by one of the by the Safdie brothers. One of the Safdie brothers directed Marty Supreme.
That's the one where George Clooney plays George Clooney.
What?
No? Doesn't George Clooney play himself in like some movie with Adam Sandler?
No, that's that movie Jay something on Netflix.
Okay, gotcha.
No, this is a couple of years ago. Adam Sandler is a bookie, and it's just he got a lot of praise for his role, but all of the Safdie films are the exact same. It's this troubled white guy who's just, and it's always tied around sports for some reason, and it's
Aren't we all?
It's always the same kind of thing, and Marty Supreme is just kind of the same. I'm not into that kind of film, so it does nothing for me. But it's fine.
I was gonna watch it,
It's
but then
fine.
it was like I just didn't want to. I mean, like, here's the thing for me: like, you don't have to put other people down to lift yourself up. Like, because he was in the context of saying, like, we're trying to save theaters. We want to put butts in seats. We want that thing to happen. And, we're struggling to do that for here. But thank God we're not like the opera or ballet because people don't care
Talking
about those
mad
things.
shit.
Right. And it's like, wait a minute. Why do you gotta shit on opera and ballet?
You know
I
what
love
that
the
is?
ballet or the opera's response.
You know what that is? That is an athlete thing where they dog on each other and they put each other down and talk shit about the other team. And he approaches it like he's a sports person, and he's not. He's a sad little drama geek. And he keeps picking on other sad little drama geeks, and they don't like it.
I do love the opera's response.
Which opera?
With I forget which one it was. I feel like it was the Met Opera where they were like something like I wish we could offer Timothée Chalamet a ticket to our shows, but unfortunately we're sold out.
Yeah. Nice.
Like
my favorite response is all the male ballerinas on TikTok who are like something similar to that, where they're like, have a show tonight, it's sold out, so you can't come. And they're like in their outfit doing spins and jumps and showing off that ass. I tell you, no one has an ass more perfect than a male ballerina dancer. I mean, fantastic, beautiful asses.
Don't tell that to the guys at Heated Rivalry.
Oh, they have I'm pretty sure Connor's Story studied ballet, and that's why he has the ass he has. Just saying, I enjoy the ballet a lot.
So anyway, here we are.
Oh, here we are.
161.
10 minutes into the podcast, and all we've done was bitch about Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
Anyway, 161. So I've got a couple of things. Nothing too interesting about this number. 161. It's a palindrome. It's the same backwards and forwards. So there you go. That's fun. That's a fun
If you
fact.
hold it in front of a mirror, it says 161.
It sure does.
Or does it say IGI?
I didn't know this, but number 161 is frequently used in punk and other subcultures as a numerical code for anti-fascism. Anti-fascism. It stands for anti-fascism action, and it's 161 because the first letter of the alphabet is A, which is 1, and the sixth letter of the alphabet is F. So you got that. Those are the only two general facts that I got.
You just took 1/3 of my facts.
Yeah, I told you there ain't a whole lot for 161. Two things I do want to point out, just so we keep it in the news. Page 161 of the Epstein files is the infamous flight log from the trial U.S. versus Maxwell, which lists the flights Epstein took to his island. If you go through there are lots of entries indicating in the log that DJT was on many, many flights. DJT, of course, the initials of the current president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Do you know what the J stands for?
Jackass.
Yes, that's absolutely right. I believe it's Donald John Trump, which is just such a stupid name. Did you hear, really quick before I go on to what we all know will be my final fact, Pokemon for this episode, but did you hear that for the first time in any of his presidencies, Donald Trump is going to go to the correspondence dinner?
Yeah, he hasn't been since they ridiculed him. Right?
He hasn't been at all during any of his presidencies, but this one, I guess he has a hand in putting together. So because, he owns CBS News now. So they're going to have, how they normally have a comedian or something host? It's going to be a mind reader. So one of those stupid, I am magic, but I'm not really magic. So all you poor saps come pay money to tickets and I'll read your mind. One of those schlubs. It's going to suck. I will be boycotting this year's correspondence dinner. So stupid. It's like those mediums who are like, your dead grandmother's sitting next to you and she says she doesn't like the color yellow.
How dare you, sir? Well, now I'm going to bring
your grandmother did.
Now I'm bringing this up. Now we're going to talk about this.
What's up?
I forget, because we change times and days that we record this thing.
Yeah.
And I forget how yellow my office is.
Oh.
And I've got like a bright white light on me. If I turn this light to non-bright white, it would look even more yellow. Like I would look like I'm in like jaundice hell. And so I forget. And so here I am wearing this yellow. I feel like it's a green screen where like all anybody can see is my face because everything else is sort of yellow and brown.
You're a floating head.
But it reminded me of this time, and I was going to tell you the story before, and I was like, just wait. So there's this one time because I go to meetings, for alcoholics. They're anonymous, and so, but we meet in this one room at the church. It's this big room, and it's nice. But I went there, and there was something wrong with the air conditioning in the room we meet. So they made us meet in this like back room. And so I go into the room and I'm wearing this shirt and I have on navy blue pants. And like this is like a youth room thing. So like all the chairs are like really low to the ground and like there's like one or two couches, but all the other chairs are like sitting on the ground. And I do this on purpose. I hope my sponsor's not listening to this one. I do this on purpose. I show up like 2 minutes before the meeting starts. Like I'll sit in my car and then go in 2 minutes before the meeting starts because they pass out like these 6 different things for people to read. and I never want to read. So I wait until they're all passed out, and then I go in. So this means that there's no seats available, and I sit down.
You remind me of a lady in a documentary we're going to talk about later.
So I go in and I sit down, and I'm like practically sitting on the floor. And while people start talking and it's going around, I'm like noticing that the floor is a checkered pattern of yellow and navy blue.
Oh,
And
shoot.
So it gets to me. Like I was the only person that didn't share in this meeting, and like time was up, but they were like, no, go ahead. And I was like, oh, well, thank God I wasn't going to get a chance. I thought I wasn't going to have the opportunity to say, I understand that I matched the floor, and it's ridiculous. And I was like, I will never wear this again for fear that
You should have just laid down and matched your colors to the tile so they couldn't see you, so you wouldn't have to talk.
And they just started talking. And, the hell is that? Scare the drink right into him.
And then my final one is obviously the Pokemon 161 Sentret. Did I say that right, Caitlin? Sentret. It is like a rabbit squirrel looking critter.
Just so y'all know, Caitlin just goes, yeah.
Yeah. It's got like there it is, like a 0 on its belly for some reason. So I found, cause when I look these up, it always has like fun facts about this Pokemon. And this one made me laugh. So I'm going to share it with you. This Pokemon is extremely cautious. Its supple tail is well muscled and firm to the touch.
Jesus Christ.
So got to catch that Sentret.
What in the heated rivalry is that description?
This automatically became my favorite Pokemon. Anything with a firm muscled tail has got my vote.
Hey, listen, this just reminded me of something equally as weird, your description of that. Are you familiar with this British woman, Clara, she's got a TikTok, and she'll show like videos. This is her tagline. She'll say, here's another one where the comments are better than the video. And then she'll play a video, and then she'll like read the comments.
Oh, and she laughs to the comments, and
Yes.
she's like, I don't know if it's Clara, but there's a couple of people who do that. Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people do it, but Clara is like the best at it. Anyway, she did this video. Man, it makes me laugh so hard thinking about it, but I'm going to have to send it to you. It's like this guy who like chugs a drink, but it's like it's the most insane thing you've ever seen, how he chugs a drink. But he says like in the description before he does it, he does this thing, and he says you have to prime your chug muscle.
Ooh.
And everybody's like, what the fuck is that? But then it's like, then he just pours this glass just right in. It's so creepy and weird, his face and the sound it makes, because it's like, it's just like he's pouring it from one glass directly into another.
Do you ever watch, back in the early 2000s, The Man Show with Adam Carolla and the other, he's conservative now.
I'm aware of its existence.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had a guy that did the same thing. He would have 2 pitchers of beer, and he would just, like he was pouring it down a drain, just pour it down the gullet. It's crazy.
Yeah. This guy didn't swallow once. Not once.
Wow. Be sure to give him my number.
It is nah. When you see his face, we're gonna have to find this video and post it or share it, Caitlin, because it's creepy and insane. I'm gonna send it to you so you have it.
Okay.
I mean, I almost want to do it now and make you watch it now, but it's one of the longer ones. I mean, it's minutes long.
I'll watch it after, and then we'll.
Hilarious. Anyway,
fascinating. Well, that's my 161 fun facts.
All right, right on. So I'll scratch out my AFA comment.
Yeah. I mean, you can repeat it. It's always important to be anti-fascist.
I mean, it just seems like we should probably call this show the 161.
Yeah. I'm still gonna drink.
Start wearing. Yeah. Congratulations to Jeremy for making the right decisions in his life that lands him into a bottle of wine at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Half a bottle, because I am recycling last week's. I only did half a bottle last week. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so here we go. This is we'll start with Friends, the 161st episode of Friends.
All right, let's see. It's the episode after Rachel broke up with Tag. So I'm going to say the back half of that season is when they focus on the wedding. So I'm going to say it has something to do with Monica and Chandler's wedding. and we'll say it's when she. Oh, the dress. Is it the one with the dress?
It is not the one with the dress. I give you a hint.
Okay.
That will do nothing for you.
Okay.
And that hint is this is one of my least favorite episodes.
Oh, this has to be a clip episode.
And when you find out what it is, and if you can remind me of other things that happened,
Sure,
then
yeah.
maybe I'll find it interesting. It's one of my least favorite cameos on the show.
I think you've already. It's Is this the one where Phoebe's boyfriend's played by Sean Penn?
No.
Oh,
that is also
because I've
one of
heard
my
you say
least
that you don't
favorite
like
ones.
that one.
No, this the thing about the wedding in this episode is that it's not the main focus of it, so but it's where Ross tries to convince them to let him play the bagpipes.
I love that part when he's playing and then Phoebe sings along.
Yeah,
One of my
that part
favorite.
is funny.
The outtakes of that when she does that and then everybody on the couch loses it is one of the best outtakes. Okay, so what else happened? So he was learning the bagpipes for the wedding. So
it's soap opera related.
Okay, so Joey's Days of Our Lives. Something to do with Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
Is
I'll
it
just
the
tell you.
Soapies Awards one?
No, it's the one with Joey's new brain.
The Susan Sarandon episode. Yes. That is absolutely. I mean, it's stupid, but it's stupid in the fact that particularly during the 80s and 90s, soap operas were doing stupid shit like that. And they were Susan Sarandon played like a Susan Lucci type character, and she was being booted off the show. And in the show, they were taking her brain and putting it in the comatose body of Dr. Drake Ramore,
who fell down the
elevator shaft because in an interview he told them that he wrote most of his scenes, and the writers didn't like that, so they wrote him off.
Listen, were you a soap opera? Did you watch soap operas?
No.
My entire childhood was soap operas. My mom loved them, and so before I would go to school, we would sit and watch soap operas all day, and then even afterwards, she would record them, and she and I would watch them. I remember even in college, sometimes planning my classes around soap opera schedules. Like One Life to Live is the one that I stuck with the whole time.
The only ties that I have to soap operas, I mean, my grandmother, my aunts, they all love. So I believe All My Children was like their go-to, or General Hospital. I think those two, All My Children and General Hospital, were the two big ones. But the only tie that I remember being kind of obsessed with a soap opera is one summer in the early 90s. It was Days of Our Lives, and they were doing, or was it One Life to Live? I don't know. They all blend together, but it was
tell me
the
storyline, and I'll be able to tell you.
The kids trapped in the well.
Okay, I don't think that was One Life to Live.
Okay,
it does sound familiar.
There was a storyline that took place over the summer, and me and my siblings watched this every day because obviously we didn't have school during the summer, and we were obsessed with these kids. For some reason, the world was obsessed when kids fell in a well. In the 80s. So they did a storyline in the 90s, and we were obsessed to see if these two kids were going to get out of the well. Spoiler alert, they did.
I'm going to tell you some storylines in One Life to Live. Well, first of all, one LGBTQ notable fact about One Life to Live is One Life to Live was the first TV show where a gay character held the main storyline for 6 weeks or something to that effect. And that was played by Ryan Felipe. He was a gay kid in
all those teeny boppers in the late 90s, early 2000s got their starts in soap operas. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy, won an Emmy for All My Children. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She was Susan Lucci's daughter.
Yeah.
Right. So here's one storyline. One of the main characters went blind. And to get his sight back, he got on his horse, blind, rode off into the sunset, went back in time to the Wild Wild West, got his sight back, and then returned to the future on the same horse. Now that took obviously it was a whole story arc. It took months and months and months. But yeah, when he got back in time, miraculously his whole family was there as the ancestors. And, so he didn't miss them. And then he got his sight back and he could come back. Then there was this underground city of gold Oh, that was a good one, man. They were down there for a while. It's crazy.
I remember I think it was in the 90s, Passions. And
That was
that
a
one was
crazy one,
that
right?
one was like witches and a little dummy
Yeah.
that came to
That
life.
little dummy that talked. Yeah.
And the dummy would come to life, and it was played by a little person. I would watch that, and I was like, "Oh my god, soap operas are getting nuts!" But now hearing that, soap operas have always been nuts.
There were some crazy ones. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
crazy one.
There
It was
was-
always like, oh, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, I do remember. I didn't watch it, but I remember it being on the news because it was very controversial. And I don't remember which soap opera, but one of them, a lady was possessed, like exorcism style, and they had to bring a priest in to do an exorcism. And I remember on the news, like people were outraged. It's crazy.
It's entertainment. People's outrage.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, here we go. Now, the moment you have been waiting for, and I
Yes.
know you're going to get this never.
Okay.
161st greatest movie of all time. It is that classic Russian film, loosely based on the life of a 15th century Russian icon painter.
Borat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Andrei Rublev. So, yeah, there's that. Now, this one I think you might get. The 161st greatest director of all time.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Now, I'm going to tell you this first one. It's a 1962 film, but there are some way more recent than that.
Okay.
All right, so 1962, the original Manchurian Candidate. I think that was the one that had old Blue Eyes in it, yeah?
And Angela Lansbury. I believe she got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Oh.
I don't remember who directed the original Manchurian Candidate.
Birdman of Alcatraz, also an older one. But here's where they start getting more
Recent.
I mean, still a while ago, but more recent. Reindeer Games.
The Ben
Yeah.
Affleck movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this one from 1998, Ronin.
Ooh, that's the Keanu Reeves movie.
No, that's 47.
47
something.
Ronin.
Yeah.
Ronin, that's a Robert De Niro movie.
Yes.
I can't tell you who directed that. Although, I just got to say, the guy who directed the original Manchurian Candidate and then ended up directing Reindeer Games, what a fall off.
John Frankenheimer.
I know the name, yes.
Okay.
Because
There you go.
I don't even remember what trailer it was. I'm going to have to go back and look at what movies he's done because there's a trailer, and they used to do this back in the 80s a lot. Like they would show the trailer and then like the name of the movie would come out and be like Ghostbusters, a John Frankenheimer film. And I just remember the end of a trailer with some deep-voiced guy being a John Frankenheimer film, and I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was Reindeer Games. I don't know. I got to look into that. But I am familiar with the name.
I don't even. I know I saw Reindeer Games. I probably saw it at the theater.
The only
was he
thing
did he rob a bank or something? Was he like?
yeah,
is
he
it
just got
Santa
out of
robs a
jail.
bank?
He just got out of jail, and his girlfriend Charlize Theron picks him up, and they're in a hotel room. And Gary Sinise and his gang of bad guys come in, and whatever he went to jail for, he has knowledge of this bank, and they want him to help them rob this bank. And he wants to try to go on the straight and narrow. The only thing as a young little gay man when this movie first came out that I remember is when he gets out of jail, him and Charlize Theron go to a hotel room and start having sex. And he gets on top of her and pulls his pants down. And his ass is so perfect in that movie. And you
think
see
it was
it
an ass
on
double?
full display. No, it was his ass.
Oh, it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
Joey
one-
Tribbiani.
It's one shot where they fall on the bed, his pants go down, and I'm like, damn.
Oh, well, good
Yeah.
for him.
Good for him. Good for you, Ben Affleck,
I wonder if that held up.
and your sweet ass. So yeah. The one good thing John Frankenheimer did, giving us Ben Affleck's ass.
It's probably why he picked the job.
Yeah, yeah. He said, someday a man will come to me with a beautiful ass, and I will show it to everyone. Anyway, so yeah.
And that'll be the last film I ever direct.
He hit it. He hit the pinnacle. He didn't have to direct anything else.
So that's all I got for 161. How was your
Beautiful.
week? Do anything fun?
I did a couple of things. My week was mostly headaches, though, because It's not surprising, just disappointing, but my bathroom ceiling is falling in from leaks yet again. We had a terrible rainstorm last week, which the super and the I'm not even gonna call him super because he's not super. He's mediocre.
Yeah,
The mediocre.
You have a meh. Some
Yeah.
people have a super. You got a meh.
My meh and the rental company is like, oh, the rain. It was like, well, seal your roof then if the rain is pouring in. So they're like, oh, we fixed the leak. And I was going back and forth. And I told him, I was like, listen, I have to go to work. My roommate's home, but he worked overnight, so he's sleeping. So feel free to enter the apartment and do whatever you got to do to fix it. If you're uncomfortable doing that, just bang on the damn door until he wakes up and answers it. So I get off of work, I check my phone, and the fucking idiot, sorry, I shouldn't have cursed. It's rude. The stupid idiot sent me a picture of my front door with a message, I knocked but nobody answered, so I left. You dumb mother. So I messaged him again, and I said, obviously you didn't read the message beforehand where I said just walk into the apartment. So he's like, I will be back on Monday. So that's one of the things they're fixing today. So the reason we're doing this early is because he's going to be by sometime this afternoon, and I didn't want him walking back and forth and me screaming at him in the middle of the podcast. So
I was kind of hoping for that.
I'll record it, but I'm not going to do it live.
Then I was thinking, like, what's this going to look like when you've had half a bottle of wine and the guy shows up and you're like, listen here, mother.
You get in there. And if you've got to hold the damn ceiling up while I take a shower, because it's falling in the shower. And I was like, I need to get clean, and I can't.
Is it like
because,
a bubble of water?
No, it's like strips of. It's like peeling in strips. I don't understand it. And strips of paint were literally falling on me while I was showering. Probably lead paint.
Defeats the purpose.
Yeah. I'm not white, actually. That's just the paint. So they're coming to fix that. Knock on wood, I hope. But I've been dealing with that, and I mean, the apartment has its issues, but I feel like when there's holes in the ceiling and things are falling, I feel like I'm in a ghetto apartment, like just a slum, and I don't want to do anything in the apartment. Like, I don't want to cook or do anything because it's like I feel like I just live in a slum. At least when the ceiling's whole, I can pretend this is a real apartment. But there is so Mamdani is holding renters town halls, one for each borough each month. And Manhattan's is March 28th, and I have signed up, and I have a seat there to air my grievances. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock on all my neighbors' doors, and I'm going to ask them to write letters about their complaints, and I'm going to read these letters to Mamdani and his board and tell them I'm tired of calling 311 because it's obviously not doing nothing because they won't fix the source of the leak. Now give me a good apartment, Mamdani. I voted for you.
Have you looked up the building address on that website to see how many complaints have come in?
Yes, there are 32.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 years, there's 32?
Over the last couple. Yeah, it's like a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 years. Wow.
Yeah. Oddly enough, most of them.
Are they all from your
They're
apartment?
mostly the apartment above me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, that explains it. They're bitching about the leaks, which are coming down their apartment into my apartment. And then there's a bunch from the apartment underneath me, which I imagine is just the water trickling down. Trickle down economics does not work. And trickle down plumbing does not work.
It's just curious to me. Like, wouldn't it, like, constantly putting a Band-Aid on it seems like it would be more costly than just
Here's my
fixing it.
theory, because again, this is just a theory. I don't know this for certain. I have no facts. But because this building is over 100 years old, they can't tear it down. You can't tear down buildings more than 100 years old in New York City. So I think they're putting Band-Aids on it until it's so sopped that it falls down on its own, and then they can put up a fresh, clean, new building. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. I'm sure you get insurance money out of that, too.
Or I die if I'm in it. I'm just collateral damage for them to put their brand new building up. Bastards.
Well, I hope that they pay all of your friends and family.
I've told everybody in my life, I was like, if you've ever met me once, sue. If I die in this apartment, sue. Anyway,
So
I
things are
hope
going well in the apartment. That's good.
but we only got a couple of months. We've started looking for other places. I think I have Chris convinced that we can move out of Hell's Kitchen because all of the buildings here are old and overpriced. And I was like, listen, if you want to stay in Hell's Kitchen, more power to you. I have to get out of Hell's Kitchen because it's too expensive. But we've been looking in, I've looked at places in Kips Bay, which is over where the VA hospital is. And they've got a couple of good places I'm going to go look at. And then we've been looking at Queens and Brooklyn because they're cheaper. And Astoria in Queens and there's a place in Brooklyn that a lot of people at work are like, that's a really good area. And it's at that point where it's still, the rents are kind of low, but it's gentrified enough where it's like safe and the apartments are all refurbished. But I can't remember what part of Brooklyn it is. I probably don't want to say it out loud so everybody doesn't move there, but Astoria and Queens is also that way. So yeah, I'm looking. I can't stay here. And I hate the fact that I have to pack and get a truck and move in 3 months, but I got to do it. So I've been dealing with that, but I had a couple of bright spots. Oh, this was funny. I was walking to work last week, and you've lived in New York, and you've been to New York. So you're probably familiar with this, but when you're walking and your crowd's coming this way and you've got the cross street, for some reason, some people get irritated and don't want you to cross in front of them, so they speed up their walking so they can cross in front of you. Have you experienced that?
Yes.
It's like, dude, you're saving what, 2 seconds? So this lady, and you could tell the way she was walking that she was having one of those days where she just felt really good and she felt like she was attractive. She had a short skirt on and high heels. She had her long hair down. It was like Vidal Sassoon, kind of like, she could do the swirl. And she was just like power walking, and I'm coming across, and I kind of met her eye, and I saw her start to speed walk so she can get in front of me because it looked like we were going to meet at the same time. So in her power walking to get in front of me, her heel, I don't know if it went to a crack or she just like wobbled her heel, but she took a tumble and she fell and landed hard. And I was like, oh shit. And I guess, I don't know if it was out of embarrassment or she's just a mean person, but she turns and looks right at me and she's like, dude, what's your fucking problem? And it's crowded. And I'm like, look around, everybody stops and look at me. Like I just shoved this bitch. And I was like, I look at her and I was like, I didn't fucking touch you. And she goes, ugh. Because when she fell, because I am a gentleman, my first instinct was to move to her to help her up. But she what's your fucking problem? So I left her there. And I was like, I didn't fucking touch you. And I turned and I walked away and I did the power walk that she did because I felt really good.
Well, I'm glad you didn't fall. And
no, how embarrassing would that have been? I was like, I'm going to power walk away, and then I tumbled.
What if you fell when you turned to walk away and you looked back at her and went, you bitch?
But just because this is the world we live in, because I was right around the corner from Macy's, I was walking into the employee entrance, and I was like, oh my God, what if somebody was recording like the Empire State Building or Macy's, and then they pan the camera down, and there's this lady laying in the street, and I was like, I didn't fucking push it, and I just walk away. So if that ends up on TikTok, I didn't touch her. Anyway. She fell, and I feel like God pushed her, and it was.
We're gonna watch
fault.
this video on TikTok where Jeremy punches some random woman in the face and knocks her to the ground. Like, what?
That's AI. It's a lie. So that kind of perked me up after dealing with my ceiling. That she got what she deserved. But then I went and saw a Broadway show. I'm not. You're like super Broadway. You're like, I come to New York just for Broadway shows.
I'm only super Broadway. Because Broadway is super.
I enjoy a nice live show, but it's not like I'm not like, oh shit, I gotta see. I'm that way with movies. Like there's a movie come out, I gotta see that in a theater. But I'm not like,
Timothy.
I gotta see.
Okay, Timothy.
No, I'm not discrediting. I'm just saying
don't wanna...
it's not my thing, which is fine. If Timothée Chalamet had said ballet and opera isn't my thing, but it's still valid and I still go see it every once in a while, that's fine. But Daniel Radcliffe has a one-man show called Every Brilliant Thing happening here in New York. It's only for 13 weeks. And it's one of those shows where you can buy tickets and sit on stage, and he pulls you into the show. Now, you and I have seen this show before.
That is true.
In Winter Garden in Florida at the Winter Garden Theater a couple of years ago. We saw John O'Hurley, who was Elaine's boss from Seinfeld. Now, I don't know.
Jay Peterman.
I don't know how much about the show you knew before we went. I knew nothing. And I
thought it was his life story.
I was just going to say, the entire time, I thought it was a one-man show he wrote and that it was his life story. No. It's apparently a show that's been done many, many times. And a lot of celebrities, old, young, male, female, have done it as one-man shows or one-people shows. So it's like
one paid person.
Yeah. The rest of us are volunteers. So it's 75 minutes. And right off the bat, I will say, and it's not his fault. It's a good show. He did a fine job. He's a great actor. He's super nice. I got to talk to him for a little bit. Super nice. But I think because we first saw this with John O'Hurley and I thought it was his life story, subconsciously I attached to this story that it's an older man looking back at his life. So that's the context I will always have for this show.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Daniel Radcliffe is younger than me. So some of the things he's doing up there, in my mind, I'm thinking, you're not old enough to have this experience yet. You're still a child, in my mind. Even though he's a grown man with a beard and a child and a wife. He still is a kid to me. So watching him do this show with that thought of, I saw it done by an old man reflecting on his life, it felt very off to me. But he's a super nice guy. So obviously, as you all know, I'm a big guy. I get hot very easily. So I brought a fan with me in case I got hot. So as I'm going in, the usher takes me to my seat, my seat is AA on the stage. Like, I paid $200 for the fucking ticket, and I'm right there. And he goes, if you get warm, it's okay. I see you brought your fan. He goes, please don't be distracting with it. So I guess he thought I brought the fan to be like, hey, Daniel, to distract him to me.
As soon as he gets on stage.
He's like, waka, ha. But I was like, no, I'm just fat and I get hot. So I will keep it low and I will gently fan, which I did. I was totally polite. So there's like, and you remember from the show, I don't know if you remember, but there's like 3 or 4 roles. Like, one's his dad, one's his love interest, and he pulls them on from the audience. I picked this chair because I was like, I give dad energy now, and he'll pick me for his dad. No, a guy comes in with much more dad energy than I do. He was in polo slacks, looked like he was in his mid-50s. I was like, fuck, somebody out dad me. I'm pretty sure in real life he has like kids and a wife and shit. So I didn't get picked, but I did get picked as one of the people who got to yell out, because they yell out he yells out numbers. And then because the whole point of the show is it's like a million brilliant things in life. And he yells out a number, and if your number's on the card, you shout out what's on the card. And I wrote down, because I had number 12, a baby laughing. So whenever he would shout number 12, I would be like, a baby laughing. So I got to have my 5 minutes of fame. Not a full 15 minutes. The dad got that, but I got a 5 minutes. So
you're a Broadway star.
I am. I'm applying for my, not SAG card. What is it for stage actors? It's what, I don't know what their.
Yeah, it's definitely not SAG.
Yeah, whatever their union
What
is.
is it?
BAG.
Actors Equity?
Broadway actors. So, but it was a good time. There's no intermission. It's a very short show. And he's super nice. Daniel, because he goes around and when he's handing the cards, he said, I like your fan. It's lovely. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's not what the usher said, but thank you for acknowledging that my fan is lovely. I thought I had it over here. Oh, it is. And this is the fan that I had. It's the one
Oh.
from
that's
the
funny.
Golden Gals. So it's got
Oh.
Divine Grace and Mr. Miss Adrian and Gidget Galore and
Ginger
Ginger
Minj.
Minj.
the most famous
The
one.
most
of them all.
famous. And but he goes, "Oh, your fan's lovely." And I was like, "Thank you, Daniel Radcliffe. And thank you for raising your child in America the right way." No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's fine in Britain, but he's given interviews where he's raised his kid in New York because he loves America and he wants to be an American citizen, I guess. But I mean, is it worth the $200 ticket price? I don't know. If you love Harry Potter, maybe. But I was like, I mean, it was fine. I mean, I would have preferred $100 ticket, but 200's fine. I've got the money.
I'm
now.
a bigger Daniel Radcliffe fan than I am a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah,
I think he's incredible, and I find that most everything he does is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I saw an interview where he was talking to somebody in the comments. They said Daniel Radcliffe made all his Hollywood money young enough where he could do all the crazy shit he wants as an adult.
Oh, that's nice.
Role wise. My favorite thing that he's done is not anything on stage and not anything from Harry Potter. But a couple of years ago, Roku funded a movie on the Weird Al Yankovic movie that is a parody of biography film, and he plays Weird Al in it. And it's completely fictional and made up, written by Weird Al, which he guest stars in. And it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And Daniel Radcliffe is amazing as Weird Al Yankovic in it. And I suggest everyone look for it and watch it.
Good for Weird Al finding his niche in the world.
And then the last thing that I did this week that I want to talk about, which is very different than going to a Broadway show, but kind of the same thing. I had my annual anal pap smear.
Oh.
Yes. So it's the first one I've had in New York City. Much like Broadway stars, I did local theater in Orlando for many years, but now I'm in New York.
I felt like that comment was going in a different direction. I thought that you were mentioning Broadway star to mention a different star.
Oh,
and I was like,
no,
don't do it.
No, most of my proctology work was done in regional theater in Orlando, but now I'm in New York. So for, I don't know, however long I was in Orlando, 12, 13, 14 years, I had gone to the same proctologist. It was this older, he's like 65, retired Army colonel, very gruff voice. And, the kind of guy you want looking in your asshole. You just know he's seen things.
So he wasn't hot?
No. I mean, I guess for some people, he wasn't hot to me. He's just a very gruffy kind of
I know
old.
that's important to you.
Yeah. I don't want hot doctors looking at my asshole. So I get
Not with their eyes.
And so I'm waiting in the waiting room, and I'm seeing like nurses and doctors come by, and there's this really attractive doctor who's coming out, and I see him talk to the counter lady, and I was like, God, please don't be the proctologist. I don't want you to look in my asshole. So this nurse comes out and she takes my vitals, and I was like, so which one's the proctologist? And she goes, there's a couple. There's a lady proctologist. There's a resident that they have, a girl who's training to become a proctologist. And then there's the colorectal surgeon who also kind of like looks at assholes. So she goes, it'll be one of those three. And I was like, which one's the colorectal? And she goes, the guy with the mustache. And I was like, oh, shit, that's the guy with the muscles. So I'm sitting out there, and the resident girl comes out. She's like, Jeremy? And I was like, yeah, let's go, little lady. You can look at my butthole. So we go in there, and she's like, I'm a resident here, so I'm going to run through questions. And if they're not pertinent, just say so. I just need to run through the whole list. And I was like, okay. So she goes through it, and she's asking me blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, okay, we're going to get you set up. And then the other doctor is going to come in. And I was like, oh, shit, I hope it's not the hot doctor. So for those who have been to a proctologist, they have those special seats where it's got like like if you're in Catholic church and you have to kneel for prayer, that little pad. So you sit on that and then you lean on the chair and then they hit a button and it lifts you in the air and then tilts you forward. So your ass is just hanging out there.
Look, I've been to proctologists. This must be a VA thing. I have never been on such a contraption. I've had multiple exams.
It's so good for them because it gives, it puts it right there. So I'm up there and my ass is there. They've got a little covering over like my back and hanging down, but you can still see my ass cheeks. And I'm just sitting there and the bed faces the window. So the door's right behind me. And the resident is on the computer right next to me. And she goes, the doctor will be in a minute. And she's typing and I hear the door open and then I hear a woman's voice. And I was like, oh, thank God. And she says, hi, how are we doing? And for a second, I almost did the Jim Carrey thing where I was going to grab my ass cheeks. I'd be like, we're doing fine. But I was like, this is the first time I'm meeting you, so I probably shouldn't do that. So I just threw a thumbs up over my head.
But can I ask you a question? That is so... You should have done that.
So I just threw a thumbs up, and I said, I'm doing great. How are you doing? And she chuckled, and then two young women did the exam and looked in my asshole. So my favorite part of the whole exam is the whole... my favorite part of the whole exam is they're doing, so an anal pap smear is, it's like a little bristly brush and they put it in your butt and they twirl it to get cells because they're trying to get to do a test on it to make sure you don't have any abnormal cells, to make sure you don't have anal rectal cancer, stuff like that. So she's got the brush and she goes, we're going to do the anal pap now. I'm going to let my resident do it because I want her to get the practice. And the resident, who God bless her, because she was trying to be professional, but she sounded very nervous, like I was her first anal pap. And she's like, okay, I'm going to stick it in and I'm going to turn it 10 times to the left and then 10 times to the right. And I said, okay. And she goes, I'm very sorry, but I can't use lube because it affects the test. So I have to go in dry. And I was like, not the first time. No, I'm just kidding. So she put it in there and did her little brush twirl. And she pulled it out and they finished the exam. And she goes, we'll let you know in a week what the results are. And then they lowered the table. And in the shameful way that I do every time I have this appointment, I bend down and I pull my pants up. And behind tears, I'm like, thank you. And then I leave. So that was my anal pap. And I say this every year. It's super important, especially for gay men who engage in any kind of anal play. Very important to get this done because most colorectal cancers, if caught early enough, are curable. If you don't catch them, then they can be very, very painful and they can kill you. So,
yeah, I mean, listen, if you're getting an annual physical anyway, just why not?
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Don't be embarrassed. They're going to school for this, so they're not embarrassed. You shouldn't be embarrassed.
And if you are, then change doctors every year.
Yeah. If you're embarrassed by it, ask for a different doctor each year. Be like, I can't look them in the face anymore. Because they didn't look me in the face. But that was my week. It was it's warmed up. It's like going to be 72 degrees here. So
yeah, I saw that.
As soon as we're done here, they're doing work on the building, more specifically my bathroom ceiling. So I'm going to shoot a message to my super and be like, listen, it's a beautiful day. I'm going out. The door is unlocked. Walk in.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Chris know before I go because
can't they just say like, oh, nobody was there, we couldn't get in? I mean, it's the super they can get in.
Here's the thing, because we have an app that we pay our rent and we send maintenance. When you submit a maintenance request, there's a box you check that says if you are not home, can maintenance enter your apartment? Every time I check, yes, they can. I Obama that shit. And I was like, yes, we can.
They can.
And they never do. And I was like, stop sending Republicans. Send a Democrat, and they will get it fixed. Anyway, I'm going to let Chris know, because he don't have to work tonight. Before I leave, I'll be like, open your door and just make sure you listen for the knock.
Is he sitting right there? Doesn't
No,
he
he
know?
went in the room.
Oh.
I
Oh,
have
okay.
been told on numerous occasions when I do the podcast, I am very loud. So he tries to go to the furthest corner of the apartment and put headphones on so he can't hear me.
Yeah, I don't think that that's you. I just think that's life. I apparently am loud as well. Like they tell me all the time in the office across the whole lobby is the other offices. They say they can hear me,
Yeah.
and I'm not usually loud. Am I? I don't know.
I think we all are at a certain age. We can't
I
hear
guess
anymore.
It's sort of like we don't understand how microphones work, and
Yeah.
that we could really just talk like this.
It's the headphones and the microphone,
Yeah.
and it's
I've got to scream. You're all the way in New York. How will you hear me?
exactly. What? Huh?
I swear this is how Jen talks on the phone. I've had to tell her a couple of times. I'm like, you understand the concept of the telephone, right? It's like it does all the work. You don't have to. You don't have to
Yeah.
shout. I don't know why she's friends with me.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, how was your week?
It was all right. You know, I'm going to do like you. I'm going to start with the thing that sucked, and then I'm going to talk about some things that are more interesting. And that is, this is a whole week-long process. Like I think we talked about the last time that the city of Orlando, gotta love you,
Mm-hmm.
that they were like, hey, yeah, we're not going to move any faster on this project that you have, but look in your backyard, you've got this shed that doesn't look permitted, so
Yeah.
let's destroy your life when it comes to that, right? So then I have this back and forth with a bunch of people, with the city, with the contractor, and all this stuff, just to say like, hey, let's just tack this on to the existing things. Now, I had a conversation with the person that I'm dealing with on this project. She's lovely. She wants to help, right? She's solution based. She's like, here's a problem. Here are the solutions. Let's figure out which one works for you, because she wants to move forward with it. She just, she's just there to make sure the city gets paid and that everything, all the rules are followed. I understand completely. So she's very nice. But I swear we had a conversation where she's like, you need to be 5 feet from the back fence for your shed, and you need to be 5 feet from the side fence, because she said, I'm looking at an aerial picture and it's too close. And then she said, we'll give you the side. We'll tack the
Did she fly a drone over your house or something?
Look, I don't even know how they see it anyway. I think because we went and looked at an aerial photo of my house, and there's a big tree that covers the entire shed. So you can't see the shed. So it's all starting to sound fishy to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, she said, we'll give you the side on the variance. We'll tack it to the variance that you have, and we'll give you the side variance. So you just have to be 5 feet from the back. So we do a lot of measuring and a lot of talking. Contractor comes out. We talk about hooking it. Like we're going to drill holes into the base of the shed and hook into it and just drag it to the point where it's 5 feet from the back. If they're going to get that variance, we decide, we make the plans, the date, the time, and everything. I go into the office and I email her and I say, hey, I just want to make sure like that this is all going to work. Can we tack this on to the variance that'll put it 5 feet from the back wall and about 2.5 feet from the side? And it was like, whoa. No. 2.5 feet is not enough. Has to be 5. She's like, we'll give you the variance to 5, because apparently it's supposed to be 7.5 feet from the side. Now, I would challenge anyone, and please do, but also send me ones that don't match this, because I want to see it. What shed in the city of Orlando is 7.5 feet from the side?
You're basically in the middle of your freaking yard.
Right. Why would you do that? Everyone, like, I could stand in my backyard. Like I said, I'm not going to make this argument to the city. Like, I'm not going to say, look around. Like everything, nothing is 7.5 feet from the side fence. So, I mean, I think I counted like 6 structures just standing in my yard looking.
7.5 feet. That's a whole Andre the Giant.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So anyway, she said, we'll give you the variance down to 5. And I was like, fine. That's fine. We'll just do it. We could still put a shed there. It's fine. What the annoyance is that I paid a lot of money for the shed that's there. So now I've got to lose that shed, throw it away, and then cut the platform, which I also spent a lot of money making. So anyway, I say, if it doesn't take too much time or add any time to what we're already doing, let's just add this variance on. So I send that email. We've admitted defeat. Give us the 2.5 foot variance, make it 5 and 5. And 10 minutes later, I get an email that says, oh, never mind. They won't do it. It's got to be 7.5 feet. And I'm like, but then she went into this thing. It's just like, like I said, solutions based. she's like, there is a form you could fill out. It's $20 application fee. It'll give you 20% of the space. So instead of being having to be 7.5 feet, you could be 6 feet from the side. And I'm like, and she's like, and it's administrative, so it only takes 2 weeks. I was like, you know what? I was like, we're done. I messaged
So
the contractor.
it's
Like,
seven
I'm done.
and a half, but if you pay me $20, it's 6 feet.
Yeah, and wait 2 weeks. Yeah. So why not just make it 6?
Scam. Sounds like
Anyway.
a scam.
So we were just like, I mean, I get it. And I emailed her. I was very frustrated, but I was like, you know, I said, this is disheartening. What's disheartening about it is like, listen, I get it. This is going to sound crazy to some people, but like you own a business in a town and you give a lot to the community. You know, we sponsor a lot of events. We're very like, community based. We want to, do a lot of good in the world, and you feel like you're doing some of that, right? And then you run into these like little things where you stand there and you look around you and you see that everybody's not playing by the same rules, and you're being forced to. It gets frustrating, right? And so that's what I meant by it was sort of disheartening. I was like, but rules are rules, and I get it. So just forget the form. Don't send me anything else. I will find something that works. We'll get it in compliance. Now, I'm not going to do it until like the hour that they tell me do it by this very minute, or you're going to get fined. I'll wait until that very last minute and do it. But we talked about it. It's just so frustrating, but I get it. It's rules. You're asking for things to be different for you than for other people. Not really. You're just asking for the same thing that everybody else has, but it's okay. So but we come to terms with it, right? Like at least now there's no variables. We know exactly what's going on. We know exactly the timeline. We know exactly what's going to happen. We don't like it, but that's okay. So that's just the annoying thing. After we recorded the podcast, directly after we recorded the podcast last time, Jen and I went to Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center to see Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, very nice.
We didn't see you. I expected to see you there. No?
I was there. I saw you.
Okay.
I was in the back.
Oh, you must have been apartment hunting.
Don't tell them, but I'm hunting in the theater next door.
So this is the Alicia Keys musical, as people would say. This is it's a jukebox musical with her music, and it tells like the early part of her life, living in an apartment with her mother. And
did she say which apartment?
I mean, she does, yes.
I hope it wasn't 4A.
No, it was like the Manhattan Apartments or something like that. It's like in Hell's Kitchen. It has a name. I would assume it's still there and still has the same name. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. She's not, she's not 300 years
She's not
old.
Hamilton.
Yeah. So, anyway, I didn't have a lot of expectations going into this. I mean, I could name like 2 or 3 Alicia Keys songs that I really like.
Yeah,
I think she's super talented.
I love Alicia Keys, and I love her music. I have never listened to her music and thought this would make a good Broadway show. So I would be skeptical too.
Yeah, it's like I wonder how people write these jukebox musicals. It's like, how do you just list out like all the words to all the songs and then try to find things that might make sense in the story of someone's life and then make them fit? It just seems strange to me.
Yeah.
So I had zero expectations. I didn't really have any expectation that I would be there the whole time. And but so we're watching it now. When we had to see it, no, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to like upset anybody. But we had an understudy that was playing the lead role, and she just kind of got swallowed up in the production. Yeah, and it was. I mean, she's very talented and she could sing. It's just she wasn't as loud as like the band and wasn't as seasoned as the rest of the cast when it came to it. But she was still good, and the dancing was insanely incredible. When it got to intermission, Jen and I just kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Well, it's way better than I thought it would be." And so we just stayed for the whole thing and enjoyed it. The thing for me is that I think the beginning of the show, it was more like, here's a scene, here's an Alicia Keys song. Here's the scene, here's an Alicia Keys song. In the second act, the music became the story. And so when they were having a conversation about something, somebody would bust out an Alicia Keys song, which makes it at least more entertaining for me. It reminded me, like the first act reminded me of The Girl from the North Country and how they did the Bob Dylan music, and I wasn't a fan. But the woman who plays her mother, her voice is insane. The guy that plays her father is just like, he sang, and I was like, why is anybody else in the show singing? He's just so good. So it was interesting. It was really like, it's like, I don't know if you would enjoy this show, because it's very like angsty teenager. It's so funny, ever since you said that thing about Rent, that you said that, like, you watched it when you were a kid and you're like, yeah, fuck Rent. Nobody pays rent. You can't tell me. And now you're like, get a job, pay your rent.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this show.
Although
and
now living in New York, I'm tempted not to pay my rent.
That door's going to open and you're going to be like, I'm not going to pay. Your mediocre is going to walk in and you're going to be like, not paying. So she's 17 years old, and she wants to be out on the streets making friends, and there's this guy that she likes, and he's way older, and she wants to hit it and all this stuff, and she's just like, her mother's like,
does
come
she
home.
Keep on falling in and out of love?
It
with
was actually, it's her mother and father who kept on falling in and out of love with each other.
Oh, interesting.
But she wants, she feels like her mom's holding her back and doesn't, I'm 17 and I'm a woman and I want to do these things. And her mom's like, you're going to get pregnant, go to school, come home. And it's this thing. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, a lot of people are probably like, let Alicia Keys be Alicia Keys. And I'm like, listen to your mother.
Yeah.
She's trying to help you.
Yeah.
I was like, she does nothing but work. She does everything she can to keep you safe. Listen to her.
Yeah. I know this is a different singer, but hey, Alicia, don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to those rivers and lakes that you're used to. The second verse of that? Bad AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, you were saying, show good?
This is what happens when you chase waterfalls.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say it was worth it. I don't think I need to see it again.
Yeah.
I don't even think, like, I don't know. Maybe if it's on like TDF and I could get a $60 ticket while I'm there.
Probably
next
not. I
time,
believe it's closing next week.
Oh, okay. Well,
I read somewhere an announcement that they're closing it. But I will say the actors who played the Alicia Keys character and the actors who played the mother both won Tonys for this. So,
wow.
So they're apparently very good. And the dad got nominated, and one other actress got nominated.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's a good show. I should have looked up where, like, this tour and where it goes next and how long its story, because I think it's still in Orlando through this week.
Nice.
I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who have tickets already, and I'm like, you're gonna enjoy it. You will.
Now let me ask you this, because it lost Best Musical to a musical I know you've seen. So I'd ask you which one is better and if the right one won. So it lost to The Outsiders. Was that the right choice?
What an interesting thing. I don't know the answer to that. I will say that there are cool moments in The Outsiders that didn't exist. Although they did really cool with the elevator, like the she lived on the upper floor and had to pass all these floors and talked all about because it's like an artist building and all the different art things that were going on the floors as the doors would open and you'd hear people singing and dancing. And I just threw my pen across the room.
Yeah.
There we go. So, now I don't know. It's a tough one. I hate to admit this in case, anyone's listening, that helped get me into this show, but I don't think I saw the end of The Outsiders to judge. Somebody is like, doesn't it rain? And I was like, I didn't see that part. So, but I mean, I don't know if that tells you anything. Yeah, I did see the whole. No, it was. I think The Outsiders was pretty good. There was something going against The Outsiders. I think like something was happening early the next morning. Like I think we went to The Outsiders, and I think the next morning Dylan and I were going to New York or something.
Oh, I got you.
And we're leaving at like 6 a.m. So I think that factored into what was going on.
Yeah, this was also the same year Merrily We Go Along had their revival.
Yeah,
and
that's
Jonathan Groff and Daniel Radcliffe both won their Tonys.
Yeah, great. Yeah, but they were for revival. So that was separate revival. From these guys.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Wednesday was Pride Night at the fair. and it's an event
Oh,
that
lovely.
LGBT plus Center of Orlando puts on. We are involved in that as well at Watermark Out News, and it's just a really great event, and it grows every year. I mean, it is a big deal now. You know why I like it so
Did
much?
everybody have to go do booth shifts and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds hard.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I don't. How hard is it? You're talking like 2 hours to stand there, and yeah, it's the easiest booth shift because it's. I mean, there's people there, but the center lets us put our paper in their welcome bags.
Yeah.
So we really don't have papers to pass out. We're really just chatting with people, and and that's pretty cool. Although we always get stuck next to the speaker. Somehow, and it's always loud. I'm too old for that. Now, if in my 20s drinking beer, I would have been like, "This is great," but I'm just too old for it now. Also, I made my shift so that I set it up so that as soon as the event started, my shift was done. But I didn't walk around the fair. The fair's bigger. It's cool. Lots of stuff going on.
Nice.
Look, I'm a fan of the claw machines.
Yeah.
And there is an entire huge warehouse full of nothing but claw machines.
Oh, damn.
And so I did go and try to win a couple of things.
Did
I know
the
it was a scam.
was the Blockbuster back?
Yeah, and bigger.
Beautiful.
From
And
what I understand, that
Okay.
that exhibit is lesbian owned.
Oh, nice. And the dog show, was the dog show back?
I didn't see a setup for the dog show. I mean, they had an
Aw.
otter show. I saw that.
Oh, okay.
It was
All
cool.
right. They're
But-
upgrading their animals.
and their food game is updated.
Yeah.
There is this thing that's like these different kind of egg rolls, and they're just these huge things, and like they have a pizza egg roll and a cheesesteak egg roll, and I saw a lot of heartburn that I could get involved in. But I went home and ate my cauliflower fried rice and
There you
stir
go.
fry.
That sounds
Like-
better.
like somebody who's trying to lose weight. Like I ate stir fry every day last week. It's all I ate. And I lost weight. It was great. And then we get to the weekend, and it's just everything I had to do over the weekend was a disaster. It was one of those
Yeah.
weekends where for dinner last night I had a malt and a Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Oh,
That was
jeez.
dinner.
All right.
So it was bad. Anyway, so shout out to the center for that event. It's great. It just brings out everybody. You get your usual suspects. You got a whole group of people that don't do other events but do this one.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see a lot of different people. Great event.
Wonderful.
They're doing something. I think I'm going to get George Wallace to come on the show and talk to it about, but I overheard something that they're going to do. I won't say when or anything just because I don't want it to not happen, but it's this sort of like Mrs. Roper bar crawl. And like you wear muumuus and wigs and go bar to bar. Sounds great. If they get like some sort of like Mrs. Roper mocktail kind of a thing, I might have to participate in that one because it sounds cool. But I'm going to get him to come on and talk about it. So that was cool. Then on Saturday was like, I always ask my brother to come over to my house and help me with stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, hey, we're trying to do this, and he comes over and helps. But he's had this problem with his door. Where like it was installed improperly by somebody, and so like a lot of the wood frame is rotting, and so he's like, I gotta fix this. For months he's been like, we gotta fix this. So he asked me if I'd come over on Saturday, and he was thinking like 11, 12, come over, we'll knock this out in a couple of hours. And I was like, I'll be over at 9, because like let's get this done.
Yeah.
We finished at 6 o'clock at night.
Oh, geez.
I've done. I could build a house now. I'm just saying. Like we built an entire like door frame and door jamb thing out of nothing, and just made it all happen and made it fit and sealed it up. It's great. Now, hopefully, the city of Orlando isn't listening and like, hey, what's his address? Because I want to go make sure that that's
Yeah.
permitted.
That door frame needs to be 7.5 feet away from other door frames.
I'm sure he got it. It's fine. I'm sure he did everything the way, but it was a long effing day.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what destroyed it, to like the whole eating healthy, because we're not in control of what we're eating, and it was like, pizza. And I had pizza the night before, which I could have controlled. I went to this restaurant. What was it called? Oh, did you ever go to 60 Vines when you were here?
No,
Like,
it
people
doesn't
talk
sound
about it all
familiar.
the time. It's like a thing where people go to celebrate stuff. It's the kind of place, like, let's say that you're 17 years old and you're going to prom and you want to impress a date. This is where you go. Or
Okay.
if it's your birthday and you're going with your family, you go to this place. Man, we had this great waitress though, and the food was so good, delicious. And then yesterday. I went to Outpost, which it's kind of become my favorite like place to eat because their food's always good. And then they always have like some weird things. So they had this French toast sticks things to put jam on, and we just got it as a dessert, and it was insane. It's like chocolate and French toast. Anyway, delicious. So there's that. But I do have big news. I have big news.
Big
right?
news.
And I'll try to get this out in a couple of minutes because I know I'm running late here. But we go to New York a lot. Right?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And Dylan has always lived in Florida, and he's been talking. We've been talking for like a year now. I think before you and I, or before you moved to New York, you and I had a conversation where it was like, hey, Dylan really wants to live in New York, and he, wants to find a way to make that happen. And so we've been talking about it for a while and finally decided to pull the trigger and make that happen. So we signed a lease for a place in New York that I think in a couple of weeks we have available to us, although he's not going to go up there right away. It's going to be interesting. Our whole, for the last 7 years, minus the last 6 months or so, we have lived sort of this hybrid long distance relationship thing where I travel back and forth to different areas or places that I need to be. And it seemed to work for us. So we're giving it a shot. It's a little further of a distance. It's not like Orlando to St. Pete. It's going to be like Orlando to New York City. But I'm going to split my time a little bit. I'm going to spend a little time up there visiting him and spend some time down here, with the community, making sure things are run smoothly here at Watermark. But yeah, we're pretty excited about the idea. I know he is. He'll be up there full time. I won't. So don't worry, everybody. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. It's just sometimes I'll be up there.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. You're gonna have a New York address. So yeah.
It's interesting because he was asking me, or people do, and they're like, oh, so what are you doing about this and about this, about this? Like, my address isn't changing. My doctors aren't changing. Like, if my doctor's listening to this, don't worry. I'm keeping you. I'm keeping my rheumatologist. Everything's like, because I'll be down here most of the time. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal. I'll be up there every time I want to see a show.
Yeah.
Well, and my husband.
Sure.
Sometimes I might want to see him. But it's interesting. We're going to see how it is. Give him let him live somewhere else. See how it works for him. Maybe for a year. See how it goes.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And thank you. By the way, Jeremy did go up and look at a place for us so that we didn't go in. We didn't go into it sight unseen. It's still got a level floor, so we're good. We're golden.
Yes, level floor, no cracks in the walls.
Oh, I asked about your
vibrant neighborhood.
About the number of places, because you told me about that website. So I looked up the address, and the address, the building that we're moving into has had 4 complaints over the last 2 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. One of them was from the apartment we're moving into, but most of the complaints are like, the heat wasn't working, which I can understand. Like, if it goes out for a little, like for a day, and it takes them a second to get it up and running, it can happen.
Yeah. I mean, most of it, as I have been explained by my building, is boilers are digital now, so they can read them and get them turned on right away. So, as one of the messages said, you don't have to call 311 over the boiler. Just let us know and we can turn it on right away. And I was like, no, I will call 311. But one of the interesting things, because I was at work, working, and then when I got off work, I hopped on the train to go see your apartment, and I was talking to one of my floor managers who is moving in with her boyfriend, and she's like, where are you going? And I told her the exit I was getting off at the train stop, and she's like, that's the train stop that my new apartment's going to be on. So she goes, "What's the address?" So I told her the building number. Her building is right next door to yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's exciting.
I told her, if you see a couple of queers walking around the street, don't beat them up.
Protect them.
Protect them. But no, she says it's a really nice neighborhood. Everybody there is very friendly.
Oh, good. It seems very nice.
Yeah.
You know, we are. One of the things that makes me sad is, I mean, not sad, but like the dogs are gonna go with him, and so I get nervous. I just hope that they're fine. Like my dog barks at TVs, so it's like, is that gonna be a problem? I hope not. You know, we just don't want to cause any ruckus.
Yeah. I will say, while I was there, I did hear the apartment next to you, a guy scream and say, "Shut that fucking dog up." No, I'm just kidding.
and then you heard and then I
heard banging, and I heard, "No, Edwin, not again." No, it was.
Listen, when I lived there before, I did have a neighbor come over and knock on my door. He knocked on the door with the handle of a knife.
Oh, Jesus.
And when I opened the door, he had a knife held out, and he was like, "You're being loud."
Jesus Christ.
I stopped.
I hope
being
you
loud
answered it with a gun and be like, "I don't think I'm being loud at all."
I was drunk, and I fell into the wall, and it was like,
you probably weren't being loud then.
It's that place where it was only 5.5 feet wide, so we were putting our air mattress down on the ground, and I stumbled because I was drunk into the wall. He didn't like it. I get it. I was quiet after that. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
So anyway, all exciting stuff. So
Very nice.
Tales from all over the place to tell.
Beautiful.
And next week we'll have a lot to talk about because our Wonder Awards came out. We'll find out if we're
they?
still. Well, they come out on Thursday, so we'll find out on Thursday if we're still an award-winning podcast.
I tell you, living up here, not in the thick of the watermark stuff. I'm like, oh, Pride at the fair. I didn't know that still happened. Wonder Awards. What?
I know.
Yeah.
You're pretty soon. You're gonna say that really slightly insulting thing where you're gonna be like, "Oh, you guys have a newspaper down there? That's cute.
You guys have a little award show you do? That's adorable."
Oh, where you pat all the little people on the back for the little things they do? That's so cute.
You have local gays there? That's wonderful.
Wow, Daniel Radcliffe, like my fan.
Yes. I don't know if you've met a Broadway gay, but I met Harry Potter. He's not gay, by the way. He's a straight.
So, look, we've been putting this off for a few weeks, but we finally decided that we're going to cover something.
Yeah.
And we did.
We covered it. We sure did.
There's this 2-episode documentary on HBO called Murder in Glitterball City.
Yes. Yes, it is a 2-part documentary. I will call it a disjointed film, is what I will call it. It's all over the place. Okay, so it's based off of a book. The book is called A Dark Room in Glitterball City: Murder, Secrets, and Scandal in Old Louisville. Louisville, obviously, being in Kentucky.
Can we talk about this book for a hot minute?
Of course.
I just want to talk about the book for a second. We didn't read the book,
no.
But we didn't have to.
No.
Because the book, like, did this guy executive produce the film?
He is.
So the writer of the book.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the book, David Domine, wrote the book and then got together with the film's directors, Fenton Bailey and Randy Barbato, who are also the two guys who founded World of Wonder that created RuPaul's Drag Race. So it's that world. It's this guy in old gay Louisville and the two guys who brought us RuPaul's Drag Race. And they're like, let's make a documentary together.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at its face, it's a great story and probably worthy of a documentary.
One of them. Because this movie is really 2 stories. It is a murder that happened, and then the oddball freaks of Louisville's gay community.
The murder is an interesting
story.
A documentary about the murder would be really good if it's done differently. But the book is like, so the gimmick of the book and the movie is that they'll have people in the book that they've put into the documentary reading like you'll have the author reading a passage from the book at the same time the person that it's about starts reading it, and then it's about them, and that's how they introduce this character into the story. And the words that they're saying and the words that he's saying all throughout it, I'm like, what a shitty book.
Yeah.
like
This
it's not written very interestingly.
No.
It's just,
this is the only connection I can make, maybe that some of our audience will understand. It's like somebody decided to write a book about what happened at Pulse, but a big chunk of that book focuses on like Lee Shannon and Patty Sheehan and like people in the community. I guess Patty had something to do with it because she was there, but it focuses on people in the community that aren't tied to this murder at all, and it's so disjointed and thrown together. It's like watching a Tarantino film, just not as interesting because they jump from person to person, from time to time, back to the murder, back to this lady who sings opera.
It didn't need to be 2 episodes. It could have been one.
It could have been 45 minutes.
I was going to say, it could have been a Dateline episode.
That's
and
proven
it would have been
because
very interesting.
this murder is actually an episode from a documentary series called The First 48 Hours.
Yeah.
And the entire story is told in that one episode, which is 44 minutes long.
Right, which tells the story and really of the people. And it's almost like at the end of it, they're like, oh, that's right. This is a story about a person who was murdered. Let's pay homage to that person.
Oh my God.
Like as if
by
it was
the
the
end of it, when that his photo comes up and it's like, the year born and the year dead. By the time that came up, I was like, oh, fuck off. This is one of the worst documentaries. I hope someone who's involved is listening to this. One of the worst documentaries I've ever seen. It's horribly paced and put together.
Yeah. And there are things that don't make sense to me a lot when it's especially, okay, first of all, I thought this was going to be amazing. The first 2 minutes is like, to me, is crazy and riveting. Yeah. Like it opens with this video confession from this guy that's like, I'm confessing to killing this person and I'm going to kill myself now. And I'm holding my ex hostage. He's on this bed. Here's my gun. This is what's happening. And then that's like, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But it turns out like that's all staged.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the part I don't get, like just to jump all over the place, let's review this as if we wrote the show and jump all over the place.
Yeah.
So, because we're talking about this video, it's the video that opens. This is pretty crazy. This video, it pretty much says
it's a confession.
They killed this person.
Yeah,
it's a confession. But so the like it comes up at trial, but nobody wants the video to be shown at this first trial. Like the guy who's confessing in it, so they don't call him to the stand, and prosecution doesn't bring it up.
Yeah,
but then the next trial of the other person, they like bring it. The defense brings it up to say, hey, look, this other guy confessed. And even so, there's like, this is in the past, right? They're showing the courtroom scenes that are actually happened, and it's actually the scene from the past. And they're like, here's this video and blah, 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 blah. But then it cuts away to like present day interviewing the lawyers. And the lawyers are like, we have the confession right there. But the lawyers have also seen the video where the guy is actually not being held captive, where he's telling the other guy how to confess, so that he doesn't get in trouble.
Because much like this documentary, the confession video is in multiple parts and doesn't need to be. So you've got the main confession, and then there's a chunk of the video in the beginning. So the two guys, Joey and Jeffrey Jace, are the gay couple who are into meth and part P&P playing. The part where they're in court and they're going through the guy's profile and they're like, what does this mean? What is WS? He's like, that means water sports. I like to be peed on. And what is this? P&P, that's party and play. That means we do meth and have sex. And what does this mean? It means I like to be wrapped up in leather and dipped in honey. It's just like crazy shit. And he's making him go down his profile and explain all the weird shit he's into.
Yeah, and the guy that made this comment was right about it. It's total kink shaming.
Absolutely.
I mean, all that was designed to do was to make the jury hate this guy. And think
in fact, I think one of the people said all that making him go through that was to Oh, no, it was the video because they made him watch a sex tape between them. And they said all that was doing was trying to make any straight guys on the jury uncomfortable so they convict the guy. Now, do I think they both did it? Yes, I think they both did it.
I mean, come on, you guys, you watch it and you tell me, but it seems very evident to me from what I saw that the guy who got off easy is the one who masterminded the whole thing.
Yes, but I have no doubt that they both were involved in it. And they both were high on meth and drugging it up, and they bring this guy over and they have a threesome.
Fantasy play that they turned into a reality, and then boom.
Yeah. So that whole thing is a very interesting story to cover. But this documentary, while you're doing it, is interspliced with Little John and his wife. Who's Little John, you might be asking? It's a guy who owns a jewelry store where you sell jewelry and gold. And apparently they're like, for anybody who lives in Orlando, Appliance Direct. He's their Appliance Direct guy. They do weird commercials, and his wife is like, at first I thought Little John was gay and the wife was his beard. And it might still be.
100%. I feel that way.
But they're so weird. And then at some point where they're talking about these weird commercials that they do, which, by the way, has nothing to do with this case, they start going through their gun collection. It's like, we keep guns all over our store and our house. This automatic rifle, that's my son's gun. Also, this documentary is a perfect example of why dental hygiene is important. There are so many people in this movie who have 2 to 4 teeth. And there's like gaps and black teeth. And they're like, I'm the most handsome person at the bar. I was like, are you? Are you the most handsome guy at the bar? Because that's terrible.
Can you tell me the name of that bar so that I don't end up there? So, yeah, and who are these people? You know, what's interesting too is when you go to like HBO and you see the picture that goes along with the movie. It's a picture of Little John and his wife. They have nothing to do with this.
Because they're local celebrities. The only thing that links them to the murder is they all live on the street that the murder happened. But they have no involvement in the murder. Most of them didn't even know these guys because they're on there saying, yeah, they kept to themselves. Some people didn't even know someone was living in that house. By the way, here's an opera singer who also is a big game hunter. Here's a zebra head on her wall. And then she starts belting out some Frank Sinatra song. I was like, this could have been cut. This didn't have to be in.
Yeah, either it's about the neighborhood and this murder happened to happen there, or it's about the murder.
Yeah,
but either
it
way,
can't be both.
So fascinating.
My favorite part is when Joey and Jeffrey J start dating, and they're showing text message conversations back and forth. Joey text, because I guess Jeffrey Jace, and I call him by both names because throughout the entire documentary they call him by both names, and it just sounds like such a country thing. Jeffrey Jace. So Jeffrey Jace is ignoring. He's got Joey on red. So what the final text message, he goes, "Are you ignoring me, Mr. Butt Munch?" And that made me laugh. Mr. Butt Munch. Because he is a butt munch. Literally.
And then
they talk about it.
Like, I guess he saw his picture or something, and Gur licks.
Yeah.
That's another
None
message,
of them were Gur, and none of them were licks.
I wrote this down when they showed the Little John and his wife at first. I was like, is this an SNL skit?
It felt like, or like a Tiger King thing. It just felt like somebody watched Tiger King and be like, oh, we're quirky like that. Let's make a documentary about us. And yeah, none of that shit had to be in there.
Yeah, and everybody was like, don't write this book, but put me in the documentary. Put me in the documentary. Is that like what he had to do to make everybody okay with it? And then, or did like Little John give money to the project and say, I'm only doing it if you put me in it?
Yeah. And how many writers are on that block? Because it's him, the guy who wrote the book for that the documentary is based off of. The lady who serves sandwiches on a silver platter. She's like, I'm a writer, and I never serve sandwiches on a silver platter. And then
Why even that?
Yeah.
I don't put chicken salad sandwiches on a silver platter. I think he just wanted to sound fancy.
He just made that up.
What did she call it? Like fictitious liberties or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, come on.
And then there's another one who's a writer historian. And she's like, in his book, he says that Louisville has the most Victorian houses in all of America. Well, that's technically not right. And you can read about that in my book. And I was like, nobody's going to read your book, bitch. Calm down.
Yeah. And just because you wrote something and
doesn't make you a writer.
Self-published doesn't make you a writer. It's so weird. It's almost like Christopher Guest did this. Like if this could have been a Christopher Guest show.
If you want to watch this, I have two recommendations. First, I would forgo this and just watch the episode of First 48 Hours because you're going to get more of the crime, the actual crime, and you're not going to have to deal with the kooks. But if you do want to watch this, if it doesn't have anything to do with the murder, fast forward through it because at the end, it will have nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, and you fast forward through a lot of it.
Yeah.
You won't miss any of it. You know what's sad is that the preview looks good.
Yeah.
You know, Dylan wasn't going to watch it, and I showed him the preview, and he's like, all right, that looks good. I'll watch it.
Yeah. Whoever made the trailer for this, they deserve an award.
Yeah, the stuff about from the trials, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they tried them separately, and Joey's trailer went first, and they made a deal with both of them that they would not pursue the death penalty if they testified against the other one. So you've got two trials. Joey goes to trial. Jeffrey Jace testifies against him. And then when Jeffrey Jace goes to trial, Joey testifies against him. And it's almost the identical story, just swapping out who the killer was.
Yeah, and you know what bothered me the most about this this documentary, is that if it was a musical, I'd probably love it. Let's see if we can put Alicia Keys music to it and make it work. Is that they make you think a thing about a person, and then an hour later they change. So they play it like Munch, whatever his name is that it? Jeffrey Jace? Is that what
Jeffrey Jace? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that they make it seem like he's this straight-laced guy
who got pulled into this drug world.
Thing. Yeah. While he's the one, and then like later on, they're like, oh, by the way, he did get arrested for having $25,000 of counterfeit money on him. Or $50,000.
Why is that towards the end? Like we go through this whole thing, and it's like, oh, by the way, 1 year before the murder, they both were arrested for passing counterfeit money.
Yeah. Why wasn't that part of the?
Like, do it chronologically. You're not Quentin Tarantino. Right. I don't need foot shots, and I don't need it out of order.
And then it makes me wonder, like, why isn't any of this in the trial? Like, when they asked that detective, why isn't this part of the story? And the detective's like, you're the one making the story. Like, why? I'm
just reading the case file.
Yeah, why wasn't all of that part of it? Like, how did this, And then even with the poor guy who died, it was like, it made it sound like he had left church and got kidnapped and drug into a basement and never left. But it's like they were having a threesome many times.
And he left to go get more drugs and then came back.
And then it just, I'm not drug shaming anybody. By all means, take whatever drugs you want. But it was just like, it seemed like a drug-induced fantasy situation.
But also, when you're doing that much drugs, when you're doing meth and coke and you're doing all those drugs, it's going to fuck your head up. Yeah. So you're going to do stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
And you end up in a Tupperware box. Oh my God. They killed him. And then when he died, took a sledgehammer to break his kneecaps so that he could be bent enough to put him in a giant Tupperware box and bury him in the basement.
Rigor mortis had set in. And so in order to make him fit in it, they just cracked him.
There were two people who said something in this documentary that I think encapsulates everything. The first one was the judge after they watched a 12-minute sex tape of Jeffrey Jace and Joey doing it, which, by the way, in the documentary, they show you just a snippet of, but they watch a full 12-minute sex tape, and afterwards, the judge goes, I'm going to need a break.
Yeah, he needed some alone time.
Yeah.
He was like that. It's just, I don't know, like, I'm not one who enjoys talking during sex. So I'm watching this video, and it's all they're doing. Yeah. And it's like this.
Well, Jeffrey Jace is doing all the talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know any of the intricacies of it. But everything that I was seeing was pointing to the fact that Jeffrey Chase was in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Of all of this.
Also, before seeing the little sex tape, totally would have thought Jeffrey Chase was the bottom. Not gonna lie, thought he would have been the bottom.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like the one that is more submissive when it comes to the bondage stuff, right? It's just so weird. And I just will never understand why those lawyers, like in the now time being interviewed, were saying we had the video on confession. We had the confession video. Why was this even a trial? Like, you saw the rest of it. Why are you pretending now? I mean, are they just trying to justify what they did? And then when they asked him where Jeffrey Chase was, the guy got up and walked away.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And I feel like there's a lot left out of this just because they thought they were building tension. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but I've seen episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race and it's edited choppy like this. And I feel like those two guys who were the directors were like, hey, we'll edit it like an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. People will love it. And we don't love it because it's horrible. But towards the end, they interviewed Joey's ex-boyfriend who got out of it.
The most normal person in the entire show.
And he says something at the very end of the documentary that it should be the tagline in the trailer, speaking about the both parties and whose fault was what. And he said, fuck both of them.
Right?
Fuck both of them. They both were involved. They're both drug-fueled sex addicts who murdered this guy. Throw them both in jail and throw away the key.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They locked up one guy, and then the other one got out after a year on probation.
What was that thing where that singer started? Oh, was she friends? The one lady with the extra tooth. She started crying at the end. I guess she
was friends with the guy who got killed.
The guy who died,
yeah. You monster. her dear lovely friend got murdered. You're like, that one tooth bitch she started crying.
No, I didn't say one tooth. She had an extra one. I mean, how else was I going to describe her?
You could say the lady who worked at the bar with him. Speaking of the people who worked at the bar with people, the drag
Twink,
queen.
That Twink aged hard.
The Twink did age hard, and the drag queen who looked like her face had swelled up. Like she got stung by a bee before
she did.
She started talking
That's why
to
she was laying on that chair. She had been
I'm like, girl, what happened to you?
Was her name Hurricane?
I think that's what, Hurricane.
Yeah. I just have a note. I'm assuming because I wrote, Jesus, Hurricane.
But yeah, you know who would be a good person to talk to about this documentary? Lee Shannon, who got her start in the Louisville drag scene.
No way.
Yeah.
I bet there's a lot of people I found recently there's a lot of people from Louisville, and they actually have, like in Orlando, and they have Louisville meetups. And
really?
Several of them play softball with me.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, I just watched a thing about how crazy your town is.
Based on this documentary, Louisville reminds me of like the poor redheaded stepchild of Savannah in Georgia.
Yeah,
because like the Midnight of Good, this feels like it's the Midnight of Good and Evil, but like super dumbed down with worse characters.
Yeah, like, you've got the sophisticated Southern drawl and writing of this book, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and then you've got this other book.
Yeah, this is like fan fiction of that.
Yeah,
but not good fan fiction.
I tell you, I finished this and I was stunned that it was on HBO.
Yeah,
I'm stunned that, and I asked this question, which I do when I watch a lot of documentaries. Like, there's a lot out there that are way better than Greetings from Queertown Orlando. I understand, but there are some that are not, or that are just as like on par. I get that Greetings from Queertown Orlando is very localized. It's about local people, but I think it has an interesting story to tell about a whole community. And I don't understand how this has 2 episodes on HBO and Greetings from Queertown Orlando couldn't get into, 90% of the film festivals that it applied for. I just don't understand. It has to be money, right? Somebody had the money to put it on there.
Yeah. I don't have 100% facts on this, but I don't know if this ran on HBO or was just HBO Max. And I know that's splitting hairs, but that makes a difference to me. Because if it's HBO Max, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because that's where they dump their trash. But if this was on like paid HBO like Sunday night, and then they ran part 2 the following Sunday, then I've got issues. But
Yeah.
this reads like an HBO Max exclusive.
Well, speaking of Greetings from Queertown, Orlando, we are going to release that on Watermark Out News' YouTube channel this week.
Oh, wow.
So
very
for
nice.
anybody who hasn't seen it that wants to, it's going to live there for you to watch it whenever you want. You know, we just figured it was time. You know, it's been years since it's been made, and it was for the city, like a gift to the city of Orlando. So we're going to put it out there for them to watch it. Before we wrap up, though, it does have a Rotten Tomatoes listing, this murder in Glitterball City.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Greetings from Queertown had a Rotten Tomatoes score, and I was like, does it? Jesus. I'm going to say, I don't know, 65%. And that's being gracious, I think.
I would agree with you that in, those 60s, 40s to 60s is where I
Yeah.
would have put it. 78. It had 9 reviews. 2 were bad, but I couldn't read the reviews 'cause I wanted to. I just couldn't find them.
Oh, that's probably because they're all made up. They're probably the 2 guys who like have contracts with like local papers where they talk to the drag queens. Like, if you don't write us a good review, you'll never talk to a RuPaul Drag Race queen again. And they're like, greatest documentary I've ever seen.
Ryan's going to call me in a week and he's going to be like, I got an email from RuPaul that we can never talk to their drag queens again because of something that was said on a podcast. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
One grape. One grape, and not the seedless kind. Seeds in it. The one grape, and when you regret eating it when you do.
You know what? I'm going to give it half a grape because I learned that when babies eat grape, you have to cut them in half so they don't choke on it. And I feel like someone's going to choke on this. So I'm giving them half a grape.
I think we gave better reviews to Naked Boys Singing.
I feel like I would watch Naked Boys Singing again before I watch this again.
Now, I'm just going to have to slap you the next time I see
It's
you.
trash.
I will watch neither of those again.
Oh, I won't. But if I was forced, it's like those TikToks where it's like, choose a door, and that's how you'll spend the next 48 hours. And if one is watch this or one is watch Naked Boys Singing, at least Naked Boys Singing had that one semi-attractive guy in it.
All right, I give you that. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so next week, next Sunday is the Oscars. So we're going to be watching the Oscars, and we'll be back to talk about that and see if Timothée Chalamet managed to get his Oscar or if he was fourth again.
Or if the ballet wins.
The ballet versus Timothée, the next episode. But until then, the cork is back in the bottle.